went shopping and I did painted. No, you cannot fit these. Very gloomy outside, which makes for great filming because you get like this overcast light. But sometimes I just want the sun to be shining. Sometimes I just want the sun to be shining. But I'm downtown. About ready to go to the library, which I say that like I'm not downtown every week. Might not be here anymore. Oh, yep, it's still down here. Okay, welcome back to the vlog. I'm so happy that you guys enjoyed it last time because I think I'm gonna do this weekly. I'm making no commitments. I'm just saying I think I want to do it weekly because documenting is coming up. So I told you all yesterday I went shopping and I did a little haul over on my TikTok, and I think I shared a couple of videos here. I am working on executing my personal style. I think I already have a personal style because I worked with stylists in the past, but what I am primarily focusing on in this particular journey is learning how to execute it on my own, which means being able to source, being able to style, and being able to accessorize my own looks, which I don't know if accessorizing and styling are two different things or if they're one and the same, but primarily I want to be able to do those three things: source, style, and accessorize to create my own looks without the assistance of my stylist. I will continue to use my stylist because he helps me, especially when I'm going out on stage and stuff like that. But in time, I just want to be able to execute it on my own. And I'm very excited because I went shopping and I'm gonna give myself a budget every single month just so that I feel more comfortable spending money, because I do have a lot of guilt when I just spend money, especially on things like clothes that are not. Here's the thing, if I'm buying clothes for work, I will spend a stack without hesitation because I'm like, this is for work. But when I just buy clothes for myself, I feel icky and I don't want to feel that way anymore. So I'm giving myself a budget to stretch my muscle of just spending and buying clothes for me to wear rather than trying to translate my work clothes into my everyday clothes. Some of them are transferable, but I know in my heart of hearts those were meant to be work clothes. That said, I got a couple of things from a few stores and I want to talk about it. The first thing I want to talk about this cardigan. And if you want to see it styled up, I am styling all these pieces on TikTok. But this is a cardigan that I got from Uniqlo. Uniqlo is a good store for basics. I hadn't heard about it until I was on TikTok trying to learn my personal style, and everyone kept suggesting it to be a great place for basics. I'm very, very happy that I found it because I was able to find this really cute cardigan that I like. I'm obviously sort of styling it up a little off the shoulder. And then I got two other pieces from there, and mostly just wanting to feel in my, I'm mostly just wanting to feel in the holes that I saw in my wardrobe. And because I'm 30 days into essentially getting dressed every day and documenting it, like even if I didn't share it online, I still have it like in my phone of like what I put on. And so I was able to realize what I was missing in my wardrobe. So I was missing white t-shirts, but like I have a lot of white t-shirts, which you guys may have seen me wear a couple of white t-shirts in the vlogs, but they're not like white t-shirts that I have because of the aesthetic. They're white t-shirts that I have because of the utility. And so I wanted aesthetically interesting white t-shirts. So I got this sort of perfect tee with the cut sleeves, which I'm gonna do a video about t-shirts because now that I've been on this style journey, I understand that all t-shirts are not created equal, but I really do love how solid this t-shirt is in the Uniqlo. There's something like really soft. I should have maybe looked up the fabric details to see what this stuff is made out of, because I really do enjoy it. I have no idea what it's made out of, but it's super duper soft. Let's see. Oh, you're supposed to lay this flat to dry too, huh? Okay. I don't know why it's not telling me that. I'll have to look it up. But anywho, I have this t-shirt which fits my theatrical romantic body type, and then this is a t-shirt that I bought with a little bit more style, a little bit more flair. It's oversized, but it has like a a nice, interesting tailoring that goes with it. It's oversized, but it's not like I just grabbed my boyfriend's t-shirt oversized. It's oversized, but this is made for me oversized, which I do want to add a few more oversized looks. Like I'm kind of doing a little bit of oversized with this cardigan, a few more oversized looks to my wardrobe. And so these three pieces from Uniqlo sort of give me space to be able to play. Then something else that I got, I'm not really a sneaker person, but I do understand the utility, and I think that I'm not a sneaker person because, you know, it's not even that I'm not a sneaker person. I think when I'm thinking about clothes, I'm always thinking about work. I'm not necessarily thinking about life. And so as I'm moving into more clothes for life, I'm thinking more, yes, about the utility, but more about the fashion element of it. And so I have sneakers, but all of those sneakers are utility. They are sneakers that I work out in, they're sneakers that I walk in. They were specifically purchased for that utility as opposed to just fashion sneakers because I like them and I think that they're cute. So this will be my first pair of fashion sneakers that I think are cute. And I don't know if you've been following me for a while, but you know I love like this deep green color. And so I got these deep green Hunter Fenty Pumas. I just really like the color. I like the retro vibe of them. I think they're going to be really cute. I have no idea what I'm going to style them with, but I was just really proud of myself for getting them because, again, I don't have any sneakers for fashion, so I don't know what my fashion sense is as it relates to sneakers because I really, outside of utility, I don't purchase fashion related things. And this is a very fashion specific. I'm not trying to jog in this. I'm not trying to exercise in this. This is pure fashion. But I love them and they were super cute. So I got those. Then I got a few items from my favorite store in all the land. I would say my top store, and it's been this for a very long time, but I will also say I had a lot of shame around it. I don't know if you guys can see the logo or not, because I can't see the viewfinder. I also had a lot of shame around how much I love this store. Like, I love this store with all of my bones, and for a long time, I didn't want to talk to people publicly about loving this store, and I don't know, we can get into that in another video, but I love this store. I think Akira does a really beautiful job doing fashion forward pieces for women with my body ID. Essentially women with the romantic or the gamine or classic body IDs. I think even the dramatic, I think obviously anybody with this body ID can dress from here, but they do a really, really great job for the theatrical romantic. So one of the other things that I knew was missing from my wardrobe were a pair of statement denim. And so I got these gorgeous, excessively distressed denim, high-waisted denim. When I tell you these look amazing on, they fit like a glove. I love them, and they're also like heavier, like a harder and heavier denim, so they're very much like a wintry look. But I love them because I'm like, okay, I don't have any statement denim. I'm building up my denim collection. I do have some good denim, but I don't have any statement, and these are a stunning pair of statement denim. Then I also wanted another statement knit sweater. These two knit sweaters, this one and this one, I intentionally purchased these because they had a more open neckline. This one I'm sort of making a lot more open, but this one is actually cut that way. I feel like with the what's this print on here that says unknown, it gives it a little bit more of a statement, being a statement cardigan as opposed to just being a black or a white cardigan. Because what I noticed in documenting my outfits every day is that I'm doing a lot of color blocking, which is fine, but I want to add a little bit more interesting element. So I got that. And then the last thing that I got from Akira is this sort of chiffon duster. And I got this as a layering piece because I'm understanding my proportions more and I'm understanding some of the style elements that I like. And I do like to add a little bit of drama to my looks. And so let's just say I layered this chiffon piece underneath this sweater, or I layered it under this sweater, and then it kind of was like an additional like duster hanging on the ground with some jeans. I think it would be really, really cute. So I got those three pieces from Akira and I love it. I think that's, oh, this is the last thing. And I talked about this in the last video, but this purse, I got this purse from Anthropologie, and it's a super cute little bucket purse. And I wanted to make mention of it because if I was not on this style journey, I wouldn't have purchased this came inside. I wouldn't have purchased this purse, and I wouldn't have purchased it because I am a self-proclaimed big bag girl. And it wasn't until I started working on my personal style and trying to be intentional about getting dressed and accessorizing that I realized that, much like everything in my wardrobe, being a big bag girl was based on utility. So yeah, I wore purses, like little purses as a teenager, 14, 15, 16. But when I really got into purses, I was a mom. I became a mom at 17. And I carried a purse, and then I carried a diaper bag, and then I went to college. And then it was like a purse, a diaper bag, and a book bag, which just eventually morphed into a really big bag. Now, there is a lot of nostalgia around having a big bag, and I'll probably always carry a big bag because there's something about it that reminds me of my coming of age. But also, as I am leaning more into my personal style, while I want to make sure I'm bringing that history with me of being a young woman who needed to carry a big bag, I also want to make space for the woman that I'm becoming, who doesn't need a big bag and who actually delights in a small bag to carry little things, and I don't have to carry so much around, because there's something a little symbolic about it. And when I originally went to anthropology, I went to get a book bag because my rule of thumb is like, if I can't fit a book in it, it's not the purse for me. But as I've been really teasing out my style and like writing down my whys, I'm like, oh, the reason you fell in love with big bags and you can identify a really good big bag is because you needed it. And that's a beautiful thing, and it will always be a part of my style. But I can try smaller things too to see if I enjoy it. And it just so happens that I really enjoy this bucket bag. I believe this is a faux leather, but it is the softest leather in all the land. And it comes with this strap, obviously these two handles, and then it also comes with another strap that's a little bit thicker that you can just throw over your shoulder. So you can do crossbody, throw over your shoulder, or carry in your hand. And it is extremely lightweight, and it's so spacious for it to be small. I love it. And that's all I got. And then yeah, that's all I got. If you want to see any of this stuff styled up, just follow me on TikTok, because I am putting the outfits over there. Happy New Year. Okay, so today is a bit of open coaching with a little bit of a lecture. I wanted to talk a little bit more about setting intentions, because every single day we are practicing the habits of happiness, and I wanted to clarify a little bit more of what I meant by intentions, because that is something that came up, quite a bit. But before we get started, in the chat box, let me know how you are doing today with your habits of happiness. I am at a 4. This is my second glass of water, which is actually really amazing, given that I really want a coffee. I want a coffee so bad. And in my mind, I'm like, ooh, if I just get a coffee, it's gonna change my life. I know that's not true, but that's how I feel right now. It's like the only thing that can save me is a coffee. About a 4.5. I haven't eaten my kale yet, but I'm going to have an incredible Caesar salad after this. I was doing my sweet greens, usually is what I have on a coaching day. But there's these fresh chopped salads that are like so good to me lately. That's a bit of a tangent, but that's how I'm doing. All right, I see a 5, 3, that's good. As you're coming in, you can feel free to just add your number. As a reminder, we do the habits of happiness because I want your disposition to be open to happiness. We know that just because we increase our financial dignity, and just because we earn more money, and just because we become rich doesn't necessarily guarantee that we're going to be happy. And if we want to have happiness when we get to whatever financial goal that we want to get to, we actually have to practice it, because happiness is a practice. And so that's what these habits are about. Today, I want to talk about setting intentions. Again, because I want to increase your level of happiness, but it'll also set us up for the new year. Next week, we are going to have a session on goal setting, and we're also going to have a bonus Saturday call as well. And you should get an email later today about that Saturday call, because I want to teach another lesson before we get out of January. I want to make sure that we get that. So today is all about setting intentions. And so when I say intentions, I'm meaning the process of creating a clear and focused mental and emotional aim for a specific goal. So when we're thinking about that as it relates to being in the program, I want you to think about in the Financial Dignity Program, the baby step number 3, where you select your financial goal. You're selecting your financial goal from one of 4 financial categories. So then as you're thinking about your overall intention, for example, I would want, at least on the Thursday, for your intention to be something that's directed towards your financial goal. You getting more focus, you getting more clarity, you being able to direct your emotions around that. But I understand that as your coach, I only meet with you on Thursday. So you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday without me. And I want you to also still be practicing the habits of happiness and what it would look like to actually create some focus for your mental and emotional self on those days as well. But overall, when I'm talking about intention setting, I'm really talking about creating the process to focus mentally, to focus emotionally towards a specific outcome. And ultimately, what that leads to is you being able to establish a mindset for each and every day to work as a reminder of what you are capable of. It helps you to not be swayed by your thoughts, feelings, or experiences when they contradict your desires. Again, a lot of words. When I give you the examples, it's going to make a lot of sense, but I wanted to explicitly define what I mean by intention so that way we can reverse engineer what we've been doing and then clarify what we'll do moving forward. Welcome back to the vlog, and welcome to my library with my books on the shelf. I know you guys can't see them all because I'm feeling very, I don't know what would the word be, like vulnerable about it right now, because this is like, it's been years. I've been wanting a space for my books for a very, very long time. And in all of the homes that I've been in, I have not been able to carve out the space that I want. And I finally did it. And I just finished like going through all of them and organizing them and putting them on the shelves. And it feels incredible, but it also feels very vulnerable, because there's something about seeing someone's full book collection that I feel like it tells you something about who they are as a reader. And I think when I was like sharing little tidbits on Instagram, I was like, yeah, these are your books. And I realized too, which I probably kind of already knew this, but my books are my most prized possession out of all of the possessions that I have. And I realized that as I was like opening the top box, because they've been in boxes because I haven't had a shelf to put them on. And like, as I'm opening the top box and I'm looking at them, it's like stirring up all these memories. And there was one book, and I have had that book for 24 years. My aunt gave it to me as a gift 24 years ago when I told her that I wanted to be America's Next Top Model. And it's just like, to think about having an item like that I've been towing with me everywhere for 24 years is a little bit mind-blowing and nostalgic and heartwarming and wholesome and all of those things. So I'm in a bunch of my feelings right now, and I wanted to start this vlog because I want to get better about my timing. And I figured I would start by showing you this life gift that I am wrapping up for my love. A life gift is just a gift that you give at random. It's not connected to a holiday or a birthday, and it's just a phrase. Honestly, I was dating somebody else when I made up the phrase, because I remember him giving me a gift and it wasn't near a birthday or a holiday. And I was like, oh, this is an amazing life gift. in his mind, it was like an early birthday gift. And I was like, what a lovely life gift. And so I like to give life gifts. And this book was recommended by a book talker who I really enjoy her book talk content, but it is a psychological thriller. But the way she talked about this book, it made me want to like consider reading it. Now I'm not going to read it because I don't like thriller and horror and psychological stuff like that. But my love really likes stuff like that. And so I want to be able to give him a lovely gift. So I picked up this wrapping paper from Target. I know it's a little bit Valentine's Day-esque because it has the hearts on it, but I'm hoping that the hearts just represent life and love and not necessarily Valentine's Day, because I don't want it to be confused with a Valentine's Day gift. Let me back up. So yeah, I'm just doing that. I wish that this could be like a back and forth conversation and I can ask you guys how you are doing, but I don't think that's how YouTube works. So I'm going to get this wrapped and then come back on and maybe we can talk about something. There we go. Now, that may have been the most complicated form of wrapping that you saw, but it was because I was trying to make sure that I didn't get the tape on the book because I don't want him to have to deal with any of that stuff. Welcome to your talking newsletter. This is a talking newsletter because I have been trying for the longest to figure out how to do an email newsletter. You have signed up for my email. You have not gotten an email from me. People keep telling me to send emails out and I try, but they never come out consistently. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna stop trying to do it the way that everybody's telling me to do it. And I'm gonna do it the best that I know how, and that is to mix something that I enjoy doing and I know I'm good at with something that I don't enjoy doing and I don't feel good at. So I'm taking a break. It is about 9:15, 9:13, something like that. But I started work this morning at about 6:39. The only reason I know the exact time is because that's what time I went live on TikTok. And in the morning, I'm trying to get to TikTok by 6 to do a 6 to 7 a.m. writing sprint. I started last week. I did really, really good last week. I was averaging about 1,000 words an hour in terms of writing. Today, I did 1,600 and change words within that hour, and that felt really good. And so I did my writing sprint. I went live on IG for about 45 minutes. I did a post on TikTok. I did posts and stories on IG, and I felt like there was something else that I did, but I can't remember what it was. Something else that I did that was work related, but I can't remember. So now I'm about to take a break. I'm going to read 2 chapters of one of the books that I'm reading. I'm on page 300 of an 800-page book that I'm reading, and it's marvelous. Also, I have finished 5 books this year already, and I only plan to read 52 books this year. And I think the thing that has made the difference for my reading this year, because 5 books, that's 5 books, that's a lot. I think the thing that has made that possible is, one, the first week of the year I was sick, so I was just sitting in bed reading because I was sick. I was too sick to do anything else. So that's one of the things. But I think the 2 biggest things that's made the biggest difference is I'm reading on Kindle, and me not having an awareness of how big the book is. When I tell you I am ripping through the pages, every book that I read on Kindle, I finish it in a day. Maybe not even really a day. It's probably, next time I'll do it, I'll actually count the hours, because it's almost like I'll start reading for 2 hours and then I'll wake up and I'll read for a couple of hours. So maybe I'm finishing it in somewhere between 4 to 5 hours. That is remarkable to me that I'm just eating these books up like that. So I think allowing myself to read in a different format has helped tremendously, because I consider myself to be a hardback person, but I'm falling in love with this experience that I'm having on Kindle. The other thing that I think is a big factor is because I figured out my rating system for books. And so as a mood reader, sometimes what would happen is I would read a book and then I would be in a mood, especially if I didn't enjoy the book, but I finished it. And then I would be in a mood about whatever was going on in the thing. But now that I have a rating system, it's like I can complete my thoughts about that book by being like, okay, this was a 1 star, this was a 2 star, 3, 4, whatever. And it just allows me to close the door on that book and then move to the next book, because I also finished a book that was a 2 star rating in between a 4 star rating. And I finished a book that was a 2 star rating. And that same day I was able to pick up another book and start reading. And in the past, I haven't been able to do that with fiction. It's like the ickiness or the lack of enjoyment that I had with the book just sits with me, and I don't want to dive into anything else. But rating it, it's just like, it's like closing the tab in my mind, and I'm able to just move on. So I think that also helped. And then I think the other thing that helped is reading in genres that I like. I think when I first started, especially with fiction, I didn't know what types of books that I liked because I didn't really let myself read. And then I got on Book Talk and I got on YouTube and I got on Bookstagram, and there were all these rules. Like, oh my gosh, like it is intense. Some of these book spaces where it was like meant to be enjoyable and pleasure and hobby, like it turned into a task and a half. It's like, if you're not reading this book, you're not reading. If you don't read this author, if you don't know who this is, you're an idiot. It's like, whoa, there are a lot of reasons why somebody might not know an author or might not have ever heard of someone. And there was just, it was intense. And so I wanted to participate and I wanted to contribute, but I think there was all this self-imposed pressure. And I'm just like, I had to get around that and telling and letting myself know that I wasn't going to be posting TBRs and stuff like that. Like it just became, I don't know, it just felt like clout chasing. It just felt like pressure. And it felt like I couldn't have my own opinion about a book that I experienced because it would be so offensive to someone else that it would literally harm them. And I'm like, you need to talk to somebody if you are harmed by my opinion about a book that I read. You need to go talk to somebody. And I think this idea that like you're harming people with your opinion, it's like, what? Like, I get how words hurt people, but I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about a book. So anywho though, that made it hard to move on as well, because I also was like, well, if this is the type of book that I gotta read in order to be a valid reader, but I didn't like those books. But now I know I love fantasy, and I love, well, it's like fantasy romance or romance fantasy. I can't remember what order it goes in. I love fantasy that has a love story in it. And then I also love romance in general. And then, so I found those two genres, and now I'm also finding authors that I like. So N.K. Jemisin is one of my favorite authors. Even though she doesn't put a lot of romance in her book, I like the way she writes. Her sentences are impeccable, okay? Impeccable. And her Broken Earth trilogy, I didn't finish it, so I can't rate it. I didn't finish it because I DNF'd it because it was dark, and I don't really like reading dark stuff. But the sentences that I did read, loved them. I just needed to be in a different space when I was reading that book. So say all that to say, I'm about to start reading now, and you're probably going to get a lot of views from me being here in my room because I don't have my library chairs yet. And my living room is more so structured and set up for watching TV. And when I read in here. And I read in here specifically because of this, because when I got this bed, I got a bed. I got a bed with a motor because I really like to read at night. And this just makes it so much more comfortable to like snuggle in and read. And I am in the habit now of reading my books in bed. And so it's going to take a lot for me to move to my library chairs to like go in and snuggle up in my library, because I'm so like, this is my zhush. It's how I read. And so I'm doing a lot of reading because the 3 books that I'm reading right now are really good. I'm a little over 300 pages in this 800-page book that I'm reading, and it's great. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm enjoying that book, and then the 2 other books that I'm reading. I'm enjoying them. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of vlogging where I'm just in here, because it's like if I'm not eating or working, I'm in here. So I have so many unfinished things, and I'm gonna fix that today because I need to like close some tabs. So the paint finish that I painted in my living room, I don't like it. My walls are too textured for a satin finish. So I'm going now to pick up a flat finish in the same color because it's too textured, and it's like it just makes me feel like I'm in a crumbling cave. So I'm gonna go pick up that so that I can finish the paint in the living room. I need to drop off like 3 bags to the thrift store, which I'm like, I don't understand why I have so many things to go to the thrift store. There's something that's happening where I am buying things, collecting things. I don't know. I don't know how I have so much to take to the thrift store, but I have a lot. I need to take that to the thrift store. And then I feel like there was one more thing that is like an open tab. Oh, I need to drop off these books to the library that are late. That's an open tab. I think those are my 3 open tabs home-wise. And then I also need to, well, not need to, but it's first Saturday, so I'm taking myself out today. And I need to put some more guidelines around that because I don't know if I'm like, if it has to be in my neighborhood, if it just has to be in the city, if it has to be at night. I need to figure out, I feel like it's just about me enjoying the city of Chicago, but I want to figure out some guidelines around that so I can make sure that I like, cause like, right, I don't really feel like doing anything today. I don't want to do anything at all. Like there's not a single thing that I want to do today. But I'm going to do those things. And I'm also going to do my first Saturday. Cause it's kind of like a solo date night. And I know if, the other date night got canceled just because he didn't feel like it, I would feel some type of way. So all that to say, that is what I'm going to do today. It is 7:00 in the morning. So I need to do some grocery shopping. It's like quarter grocery shopping too. So I need to get some stuff from Costco. I don't know. I just feel like I have a lot of open tabs in my mind and I want to just close them. So let's try to get those closed. Do my lighting. But I'm looking into my living room, having just painted those walls this matte finish, which I knew it was right. They tried to tell me it wasn't right. They were wrong. This is what I wanted it to look like. This is what I wanted it to look like in my living room. It feels so luxurious. The walls feel like I had someone come in and drywall the whole living room and give me new walls that are flat with like out imperfections, no bumps, no lumps, just none of that. And that eggshell satin finish, which I don't even think it was a true eggshell satin finish because I've used that before. I think it was a semi-gloss. It was like texture beyond texture beyond texture. And now everything looks flat and smooth. And my 3 words for my whole home: sexy, scholarly, sophisticated. That's what my living room looks like now. And I have been so blocked on furniture and things. And it's because this room was, like the texture on the wall was so not awesome. And now it just looks so good. And that was a $70 plus, I think it took me 2 hours, 9, 12, 8, 9, 10, 12, yeah, a couple of hours, almost 3 hours. Well, let's go with 4 because I went to go get the paint. 4 hours, my life is transformed. So now I'm about to go to the library and drop off my books. I'm gonna get through my to-do list today. So I'm just gonna take this bag. It's like a tote bag that I got from Akira. And I'm gonna clear this out and I'm gonna put the items that I'm gonna donate in here. And then that way I can just leave the whole bag and it can function as a tote and whatnot. So I've got a watch. It doesn't work. It was me when I was trying to thrift accessories. It doesn't work. This is a mirror that I got from an Akira goodie bag. I don't need it. I had thrifted these picture frames thinking I was gonna do something with it. They're actually really nice. You know, the thing that makes me want to let these go is that they're gold and I am putting so much more chrome silver around me but these are really nice frames. That's why I thrifted them. And they may work in my bedroom for my bedroom colors. I think I'm gonna hold on to those. But this is a picture that I thrifted. I thought I was gonna love it more. I didn't. It's new. It's from the Target collection, and I thrifted it. So I'm just returning it back to the thrift shop. Some sandals that I got that I thrifted. I can't fit them. I wanted to fit these so bad. I thought I was just having a swollen foot day. No, you cannot fit these. So I'm gonna give those back. Then I actually have this little container. I might keep this. I put stuff in bags that I'm not using, because then in my mind I'm like, okay, you're not using it, and if you don't miss it, you're fine. So I might still put those in the bag. And then I just have a few, just these clothing items. Okay, I just have some clothes that I'm not wearing. This is a black, like, satiny dress, which on the surface it's fine, but it has an empire waist, which learning more about, like, can you see that stitching there? There's stitching here. There's piping here and a little bit of piping here. Even though it's not compressing, the piping is creating a shape, and it's actually altering. I probably should have raised this camera a little bit. It's actually altering my shape a bit. What do I need to get this to go a little bit higher? It's altering my shape a little bit, and it's not as flattering. And so I'm gonna donate this dress. These are some dark wash denim. I wanted them to fit better, but they just don't fit better. But I do want a pair of denim in this color. So I'm gonna donate these. I'm also gonna donate this sweater. While it is good quality, it's not a good color for me. So I'm donating this sweater. I'm also donating, hold on, I gotta write these clothes over here. I'm gonna donate this red sweater. Doesn't look terrible, but it also doesn't look good either. So I'm gonna donate this red sweater. This black sweater is a really good quality knit, but it has bat wings, and that doesn't look good on me because I have teeny tiny boobies. And these are just more black jeans because I was really trying to find a, these wouldn't be called soft wash, but just a distressed denim. So some of these are just denim that I've had for a while, and I literally haven't worn them in several years. And so I'm just like, I don't want to keep moving around with this type of stuff. So, and I was going to send this stuff to ThredUp, but I decided I'm only going to send the stuff to ThredUp that is like ThredUp designer stuff, as opposed to just the casual things that I think would be better used for someone who can like thrift and find. This is just a black tank top. I can't fit it when I wear it. It has like a little bit of a compressing spandexy bra, so when I wear it, it's too tight on around here. So I'm gonna donate that. And this is just a casual Gap long sleeve crew neck. I thought I would wear this like layering, but I just don't dress this. I say this while I'm wearing a sweatsuit. I honestly just don't dress this casually on a regular basis. And so this I'm wearing because I'm painting, but I wouldn't pull this. And so it's just kind of hanging out in my closet, taking up space. And I'm trying to be very, very like exacting about what I'm keeping so that I can make space for what loves me, what I love, and what loves me back. So those will be the clothes that I'm donating. I actually thought about it, and I'm not gonna keep it because it's been put away. These are good, but someone else could love on these frames and this matting right now. So I'm gonna give it away and make space for what I really want. So I'm often asked during a coaching session or just after a coaching session, what am I supposed to do? I have this insight, I have this awareness, this revelation just hit me in coaching. What am I supposed to do now? And the short answer is you're not supposed to do anything because you're a human being, not a human doing. Now the longer answer, because I know that that's actually hard because we live in a society that tells us that that's what you're supposed to do is something. It is very difficult to drop into a space of just being and experiencing the awareness, experiencing the insight, experiencing the revelation, and waiting for that to reveal to you what's next. So I have a few steps that might support you in processing what comes up in coaching. Else to note before I go into these steps to help you process is that coaching is thought work. Coaching is the difficult, sometimes frustrating work of going into your conscious, subconscious, and sometimes unconscious mind and pulling out the things that are preventing you from being able to achieve your goals. In this case, your financial goals. And so when we're doing this excavating inside of your mind, when we're doing this thought work, it's going to feel unfamiliar to those of you all who don't already have practices like this. And for those of you all who do have practices like this, it's still going to feel it's still gonna feel uncomfortable, because it's hard to say this is why I am the way that I am. And it's also incredibly hard to be able to see not just our light and the characteristics and the personality that we want to have, but also our shadow and the parts of our personality and characteristics that we don't want to have, but make us into a whole human being. And I want you to have a whole experience in here. And I've talked about this before. It's not just riches, it's also happiness. I define happiness as unleashing your highest potential to positively influence the world. You can't do that if you're denying parts of yourself, right? So there is a bit of an integration that happens in the coaching sessions where we do look at some of the things that you may not have examined before, and that can be incredibly difficult to then examine, review, and try to integrate. But know that that is the work of coaching. You are doing something that majority of the population is unwilling to do, which is to sign up to do the type of mental work that makes your life better. I'm honored to be your coach, and these are the few steps that I think you should take post-coaching sessions to help you to process. All right, we're back. My clothes are probably changed because the front half of this video is from Friday and today is Monday, and I just finished work. I just finished work, and so I'm gonna do some writing. Today is like one of those days where I'm like, I do not want to do a single piece of work today, but I made it through my work. Usually I'm able to do my writing in the morning and then get to my work because I'm feeling super inspired, but that was not today in any way, shape, or form. Like I'm not, it's not that I'm like tired. I'm rolling, I have a little rolling ball. It's not that I'm tired. I think I'm just uninspired maybe. Like, I think it was like a lot of, I don't know what the word would be, like tedious practical things for the company that I've been doing. And so I don't have a lot of inspiration right now, which is making me super disinterested in working. But I had a really, really beautiful weekend. And one of the things that I've decided, so I'm not going to finish this manuscript before the 29th, well, March 1st, which was my goal. I'm not going to finish it, but I did get some really good words in there. A part of the reason I'm not going to finish it is because in my mind, I was like, minimum 2,000 words a day. And I definitely thought I was going to be writing on the weekends, but I am not writing on the weekends. I am not doing that. And I thought that I would, but I'm not. And I'm not going to beat myself up for it. It's just, it's fine that I'm not writing on the weekends. If something comes up, it comes up. But I've really just been like snuggling up, vegging out, really enjoying my weekends. And the weather kind of broke here in Chicago a little bit too. So we've gotten some really beautiful days, a few days in a row. So, yeah, I'm just not writing on the weekends. And it's not like an official statement. It's just, I didn't write this weekend. I didn't write last weekend. And so instead of like trying to push through it, I'm just going to honor the fact that I'm not doing that. So I'm coming into Monday off of a really good weekend, but like it's just one of those days where I don't feel like doing any work. And I think these are some of the hardest days of entrepreneurship. And these are the days that like most entrepreneurs don't talk about. But they happen just like any other job. But I like, because of the way that my business is structured, I still know what work I need to do anyway, even when I don't want to work. And so I did that work, I'm all done. And I want to do 2,000 words. 2,000 words a day it's a really good amount of words for me in terms of stretching me from a prose perspective, stretching me from an ideas perspective. And I find that if I can get like the first, I don't know why I said it like that, if I can get like the first 300 to 500 words out, the other 1,500 words kind of just flow. And so instead of telling myself 500 words, I tell myself 2,000 words so that way, like I reach for something that's a little bit like stretching me. So even though I'm tired, I think it's like noon. even though I'm tired, even though I don't want to do this, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get 2,000 words either in the How to Be Happy manuscript or the memoir. I'm going to get 2,000 words. And so what I'm going to do now, before I write those 2,000 words, is I'm going to go take a walk to see if that can just like zhuzh me up a little bit. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to sit and write.